Good morning, Masters. We are in chapter 6, Healing the Past. Mildred and Chester were both in their 80s when they came to me for a consultation. They wanted to know what I could see when I looked at their auras. As I started to look at their respective energy systems, the figure of a woman with red hair appeared between us. Usually, when this happens, the spirit has a message they want me to convey, and this was the case. Tell them thank you for being wonderful parents. They were patient, loving, and stuck by me for years when I was a real pain. Tell them that I'm okay and that they helped me heal a lot of my anger from the lifetime before they were my parents. It was important. I need to do that, and I needed parents who would help me. Tell them I love them. When I relayed this information to them, they both nodded their heads. That's our Letty, said Mildred. We adopted her when she was a baby, and she was probably the angriest child I'd ever seen. Once she was a teenager, she got into drugs and would disappear for days. We were so worried that one day she had disappeared and we'd never see her again. But we stuck by her and just loved her no matter what she did. In her early 20s, she got into a 12-step program and turned her life around. Once that happened, it was like she was a different person. She went to college, got a great job, and married a really nice man. Everything was going really well for her for about 10 years. Then she got into a car accident and died. Chester took Mildred's hand in his hand and said, we always felt like there was something we just didn't understand about Letty. She was like a whirlwind that came into our lives. While she was alive, and especially before she got into her 12-step program, she took up all our attention. We didn't mind though, because we sure did love her. It helps to know that we helped her and that she is okay. The consultation continued on to other subjects. But I could tell that understanding the role that they had played in their daughter's life had helped them find closure on the relationship. A spirit baby can be drawn to a couple because of their natural healing ability. In this case, Chester and Mildred had the karma to offer healing to a child, and Letty needed healing. Although the process proved challenging for many years, in the end the karma was complete and Letty was freed from her old anger. Anger and abandonment. I don't know much about energy work or clairvoyance, but if you can help this pain to go away, I'll be grateful, said Billy as she hopped into my office. Billy had a sharp pain in her lower back. It had started about 2 weeks before and become so severe that she had to take time off from her work as a carpenter. Her doctors were having difficulty pinpointing the source of the pain, and her chiropractor recommended that she come to me for a spiritual perspective. Billy was unable to sit comfortably, so I did some energy work with her to help reduce the pain. After I channeled healing energy to the affected area for a few minutes, Billy began to take deep breaths and relax. Soon she was able to settle into a chair. That felt great, she said. It was like warm electricity running down my body. A lot of the pain is gone. What did you do? Each of us has a natural healing energy that helps us take care of our bodies, I replied. I stimulated and directed this energy to dissolve the pain. In order for this healing to continue, however, we need to find the psychic source of the pain. I focused on the lower right side of Billy's back where the pain was centered. Instantly, an almost photographic image of a teenage girl appeared. The figure was detailed in black and red. An energy cord of the same colors stretched from her throat to the painful area of Billy's back. The teenager was screaming, and her rage sent lightning bolts of energy into Billy. The girl was so consumed by her anger that it was impossible to contact her. I began to study the energy surrounding her. There were three past life tableaus floating around her. In each, the girl was abandoned either at birth or shortly after. I was looking for more details when the teenager turned her attention to me. What do you want? She demanded. I explained who I was and asked why she was causing Billy so much pain. She is my birth mother. Ask her why she always leaves me, she retorted. The figure's energy began to soften. Then I asked if Billy was supposed to be her only mother in this lifetime. No, she responded. I love my parents. I just want to know why she always leaves me. She should understand how it feels. The spirit then withdrew into herself and was quiet. The red and black cord remained between the spirit and Billy, but it was no longer animated by rage. Billy was very curious about what was going on. When you first closed your eyes, the pain came back real strong, and just before you opened them, it almost disappeared again. There's a spirit of a teenage girl here. She looks about 19. She says you are her birth mother, I said. Oh my God, it's Libby, Billy exclaimed. We are going to meet for the first time next week. Did the two of you set up this meeting around the same time the pain started? I asked. Billy thought for a moment. That's right. I remember being real excited the night we set it up. The next morning, I woke up with this pain. Are you saying that she's causing it? You and Libby share a past life history, I explained. You have given birth to her in three separate lifetimes, but you never stuck around to be her mother. The pattern repeated itself in this lifetime. She is very angry about it, and the pain you feel is her anger. She wants to know why you keep leaving her. She says you should know what it feels like to be abandoned. I expected Billy to be upset by this information, but she just nodded and took it in. My mother left me with my grandmother when I was 6. I didn't hear from her again until I was 17. By then, I was already a drunk. I had Libby when I was 19. I couldn't face my problem or take responsibility for myself, so I put her up for adoption. I didn't get sober until I was 25. I have always thought putting her up for adoption was the best choice, explained Billy. Adoption was part of your karma together, I assured her. You were meant to repeat that pattern of leaving her again in this lifetime so you can face each other and explain your feelings. There is still a cord of energy that binds you together. This means you still have a karmic contract with each other. You still have issues to face and lessons to learn together. Do you think she is going to tell me how angry she is when we meet next week? Billy asked. I looked at Libby's spirit and saw her give an affirmative nod. You can count on it, I told Billy. I ran into Billy about 6 months later at the hardware store. When I asked her how her meeting with Libby went, she laughed. Well, like you said, she was very angry. She was real judgmental about me, my life, and the choices I made. At one point, she was screaming at me. When I told her what I went through with my mother and how I felt about it, we both started to cry and hug each other. We have been talking at least once a week ever since, said Billy. I have worked with a number of cases like Billy's, in which the birth mother still had a karmic connection with the child she gave up for adoption. In each case, an energy cord, such as the one between Billy and Libby, indicated that the relationship needed to continue. These cords represent a commitment from each person to learn and grow together. While these cords are sometimes painful, their main function is as a psychic tether. Even though years and distance may separate a birth mother from the child she gave up for adoption, this psychic tether ensures they will one day be drawn together to face and understand the lessons to their relationship. Most of my work with adoption has involved adults. I have, however, had a number of opportunities to observe spirit babies with their birth mothers before adoption. These spirit babies have all shown an awareness that having both birth mother and adoptive parents was interwoven into their destiny. They each possessed a focused determination to reach their adoptive parents, and they trusted in the force of karma to deliver them to their destination. A favor. Pauline had a decision to make about her unexpected pregnancy. In her mid 20s and unmarried, she was carefully considering her options. She had met with a counselor and her minister and now wanted to know what I could tell her about the spirit baby. The green and white oval of a spirit baby was floating around Pauline's hips. The spirit put out the vibration of an old soul that had seen many lifetimes. I was not surprised when a mature male voice responded when I made telepathic contact. Are you meant to be Pauline's child in this lifetime? I asked. A small picture like a photograph appeared in the spirit baby's oval. A couple, both dressed in white lab coats, was holding an infant between them. No, the spirit replied. I am here to be the son of two doctors. Why did you come to Pauline? I continued. Does she have the karma to be your birth mother? When the spirit again gave a negative response, I repeated my question. Why did you come to Pauline? She has been both my mother and father for many lifetimes. We have completed our time together. We owe each other nothing. But I need to be born in this city. She is here. I need her help. If I am put up for adoption here, I will find the doctors. What if Pauline decides not to help you? I asked. There will be someone else in this city. This is where I am destined to be. The spirit spoke in a very matter of fact tone, without a trace of emotion. I could sense how fixed and focused his energy was. His entire being was committed to one purpose: to find a way to the two doctors, his adoptive parents. Pauline was someone he knew and trusted from their completed karma together. I could feel he truly was not trying to make any claim on Pauline or force her into a new karmic cycle with him. She was under no obligation. If she did not help him, he absolutely believed that another way would open up for him. I explained all of this to Pauline, who listened quietly and thoughtfully without comment. When I finished, she said, Thank you very much. You helped me make my decision, and she left my office. Spirit babies whose karma includes adoption show an awareness of both their birth mother and future parents. They know that each is an integral part of their destiny. Because they must keep a conception contract with their birth mother and a life contract with their adoptive parents, these spirit babies must make energy cord to both define this arrangement. Such cords usually become visible and prominent when the time of birth is closed at hand. Having faith. Olivia and her husband both knew they wanted to be parents. When they found out they could not have children, they immediately made the decision to adopt. Now they were waiting. The waiting was particularly hard for Olivia, and she had come for some healing work to relieve the stress. I know we are on the list and our baby will come, but sometimes I feel like my nerves are being rubbed raw. I hear this voice saying, You are never going to get your baby. Then I get depressed. It's very hard to shake it off. You did some healing work with me 2 years ago when I lost my job. It really helped me keep my energy positive and focused on my goals. I was hoping you could help me again. I always begin my healing work by sending a channel of energy through the client's chakra system. This opens up the chakras and helps them release any blocks that are impeding the flow of energy through the system. When these blocks are released, they form psychic images that tell me what kind of events, thoughts, and actions are affecting my client. I was opening up Olivia's seventh chakra at the top of her head when a beautiful blue-white cord of energy appeared. It arched from the top of her head and connected her to an energy form that seemed far away and off in the distance. When I focused on this form, the energy expanded and drew closer. Soon I could discern the green-orange oval of a spirit baby that was on the other end of the cord. Next to the spirit baby was the image of a teenage girl. The spirit baby had two cords to her, one to its growing body in her uterus and one to her heart chakra at the center of her chest. I could tell from the strong energy pulse coming from the spirit baby that its birth time was very near. The energy around the teenager was sad but resolute. I could see the spirit baby was trying to comfort her by sending a warm, healing energy to her heart chakra. When I connected with the spirit baby, the image of an infant boy appeared. The image was silent and did not respond verbally to my questions. However, when I asked if Olivia was here to be his mother in this lifetime, the blue and white cord between them began to glow brightly. Images of Olivia and her husband playing with the little boy appeared. The more I studied the cord, the clearer its healing message became. Don't worry, Olivia, I'm coming soon. I finished my healing work and sat down to talk to Olivia. I explained to her what I had seen and why I believed it meant their baby was on the way. It's the cord that convinces me the most, I continued. This cord seems very recent, as if it just appeared within the last few weeks. I believe it's the spirit baby's way of telling you our karmic contract is about to begin. That's so strange, said Olivia. I had a dream a week ago that I was holding a baby. I thought that was a positive sign, women's intuition, but I didn't dare hope. The cord is to your seventh chakra, which is a chakra that deals with faith and belief. I believe the lesson for you here is to have faith in what you know. You know that you and your husband are destined to be parents. You know a child is going to come to you. You are being asked to live with faith as the center of your life rather than doubt. Trust your intuition here. I believe it's correct, I said. Olivia's intuition was correct. 1 month later, she and her husband adopted a baby boy. The spirit baby in the story had attachments both to his birth mother and to his future family. The two cords to his birth mother indicated his conception contract with her. The cord to her uterus, or first chakra area, represented her commitment to build a body for him. The cord to her fourth or heart chakra showed that theirs was a healing relationship. This type of cord usually means that some kind of balance is being made. They were fulfilling a karmic contract made long ago. The spirit baby's connection to Olivia's seventh chakra represented a life contract that he had to be part of her family. Seven chakra cords between individuals usually indicate a teaching relationship, that each is here to be the other's teacher. Olivia's first lesson in this relationship was an essential one for any parent. Trust yourself. The use of such cords is common for a spirit baby whose destiny includes adoption. They create the interconnected web of relationships vital to entering and sustaining human life. Adoption can be a stressful process because of the many emotional ups and downs for all parties concerned. I have found that one of the biggest worries many adoptive parents have is whether or not they are making the right choice for the family. Knowing when it's right. A woman named Margie had several consultations with me over the course of a year. The first time I saw her, she was very frustrated because she and her husband Scott had been trying to get pregnant through with in vitro fertilization and it just wasn't happening. It had gotten to the point that Margie was ready to give up on in vitro and look at adoption. However, Scott had many reservations about adoption, and there was a lot of tension between them about the subject. I spent a lot of time looking at Scott physically and helping Margie understand his worries about adoption. I knew that Margie and Scott needed to have empathy for each other as they decided whether or not adoption could work for their family. Do you think I'll be able to have a child one way or another? Margie asked. As I looked at Margie's aura, I could see the familiar green oval of a spirit baby. I saw that the spirit had a cord to both Margie and what looked like a birth mother. This indicated to me that there was a good chance Margie and Scott would end up choosing to adopt a child. I do see a spirit baby in your aura, I told Margie. The important thing to remember is that, one way or another, this spirit will find its way to you. You need to trust the process you're going through with Scott and have faith that the spirit will find you. About a year later, I got a frantic call from Margie. She and her Scott had decided to adopt a child from a foreign country. They had just received a referral on a baby who was available. The baby is underweight for his age, and normally that wouldn't bother me, but something just doesn't feel right about this to me, said Margie. I can't bear to reject a baby who needs a home, but something just keeps stopping me from accepting this referral. Do you think I'm just worrying for nothing? When I focused on Margie's aura and the baby she was telling me about, I could see that this was not the baby that Margie had a cord to. I could also see that this baby was meant for a different couple. I relayed this information to Margie. You will know when you see the baby that's meant to be with you, I told her. You will just know it deep inside of you and your doubts will be gone. I also gave Margie a chant to do that would help her know intuitively when she found the baby who was meant to be part of her family. I could tell Margie was hoping that I'd say something different, but she thanked me and said she would talk to her husband about what they should do. 2 months later, I got another call from Margie. Guess who I'm holding while talk to you? She said excitedly. Scott and I are the proud parents of a new baby boy named Eric. After I congratulated her, she told me what had happened since our last talk. Scott and I decided not to take the first baby that was offered to us, but I still couldn't say no to the first baby. When I called the person who handles the referrals and expressed my concerns, they immediately said that they wanted to find a different baby for us because it didn't sound like a good match. So I was saved from having to say no. When they sent us the photo of Eric, I just knew that he was our baby. When we talked last time, I really didn't believe you when you told me. I know that, but you were right. I just knew that Eric was our baby and I didn't have any doubts. Because of the experience I had with the first baby, I could really see what a difference it makes when you know intuitively that something is right. I can't thank you enough for your help through all this. A week later, I received a picture of Eric in the mail. Breath exercises, releasing negative thoughts and emotions. There is a lot of stress involved in being part of the adoption process. Birth mothers must wade through their pregnancies wondering if they are doing the right thing. Adoptive parents face long waits and concerns about whether the baby offered is the right one. This meditation has helped many of my clients through the stresses and strains of adoption. Daily practice promotes a positive attitude and a clear mind that stays focused on its goals. Sit with your spine straight and your feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes and listen to your breath for a few minutes. Let nothing occupy your mind except the sound of your breath. Raise your right hand to the height of your right shoulder. Raise your left hand to the height of your left shoulder. The fingers of each hand should be pointing at the ceiling. The palm of each hand should be facing the other. Inhale and let your inhalation draw your hands together until the palms of your hands are touching. Exhale and let your exhalation separate your hands until they are shoulder width apart. Repeat these hand movements with your inhalation and exhalation for 5 to 10 minutes. This meditation works by opening the chakra system and allowing it to release negative thoughts and emotions. As these negative thoughts or emotions are released, you may feel them as they pass through your energy system. You may suddenly find tears in your eyes or angry thoughts filling your mind. Do not try to stop these feelings. When you can, just refocus your attention on your breath and keep doing the meditation. This will keep a steady stream of energy flowing through you and allow the negative thoughts and emotions to be carried away. A call to the child of my heart. This meditation is for couples who are adopting a child. It puts out a call that attracts your future child to you. I recommend doing this meditation and chant as soon as you decide on adoption. It provides a steady beacon of energy that the spirit baby can easily connect to. This exercise may seem a bit complex at first, but after you practice the visualization and hand movements a few times, it will feel very natural. Sit with your spine straight and your feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes and listen to your breath for a few minutes. If your attention wanders from your breath, just refocus again without comment or judgment. Raise your right hand to the height of your right shoulder. Raise your left hand to the height of your left shoulder. The fingers and thumb of each hand should be pointing at the ceiling. The palms of each hand should be facing each other. Hold your hands in this position. Inhale and visualize an orange gold stream of energy flowing down from the top of your head to the base of your spine. Exhale and let the orange gold energy flow upward from the base of your spine to the top of your head. Practice this visualization with your inhalation and exhalation until you are comfortable with it. While continuing the visualization breath, add the following hand movements. Inhale and let your inhalation draw your hands together until the palms touch. Exhale and let your exhalation separate your hands until they are shoulder width apart. Practice the visualization and hand movements together. Inhale and feel the orange gold energy flow down your spine as your hands come together. Exhale and feel the energy flow up your spine as your hands separate. Continue the visualization and hand movements. Add the chant O na me a sa na cha o ne a. Practice the visualization, hand movements, and chant. Inhale and see the orange gold energy flow down your spine as your hands come together. Exhale and chant, feeling the energy flow up through your spine as your hands separate. Continue for at least 5 minutes. This combination of visualization, hand movements, and chanting creates an energy form that welcomes your future child. It opens up your chakra system so that you can sense the psychic presence of your future child and know that they are on their way. The chant is the most important part of this exercise. When you do this chant, it puts out a specific call to the spirit baby whose destiny is to be part of your family. It makes a strong psychic connection between you and your future child. Daily practice of this chant has helped many of my clients intuitively know when the right child comes along. Okay, masters, we'll stop here. Thank you very much.